Hey you guys, this is Yolanda from Yolaji Holistic Wellness making this video because there's a lot of different spiritual lingo words that we use in the holistic healing community, and oftentimes we get confused of them. So for example, one person might say potato, I say potato. You might say tomato, I say tomato, just because it sounds better, you know, right? So anyhow, the different verbatims that we're going to go over is transmissions, downloads, activations, attunements, and healing sessions. Healing sessions are just that. They're just what it is. A healing session is basically a service of energy that is being channeled for healing. It is whatever that person's specific needs are during that healing session is the healing that they'll receive. So usually a healing session is something being passed through, like Reiki, crystal healing, new paradigm, or any other energy modality that you can think of. Whereas an attunement is the passing down of that modality to the student, so that way the student can serve others as well by passing it down, or to provide healing sessions for their clients. And then there's also healing attunements that a lot of people get mixed up with because they assume that it is a lineage that they can pass down. That is a double standard. It depends on the healer who creates the healing attunement. Some healing attunements are just that, healing attunements, but it is different from a healing session, because a healing attunement, what it does is it's a energy that is being passed down to the client for themselves to reactivate at a later date. So like, say for example, I have a third eye attunement that was given to me by Gabrielson, okay, but I can't pass it down because he has created it to where it can't be passed down. So he's basically given me this healing attunement so that way I can support myself on my venture when he's not there by reactivating it if I feel to. Now some teachers will go ahead and actually allow you to have it passed down, and that is also a healing attunement as well. Transmissions, this word gets thrown a lot, and it's a lot similar to downloads. Downloads is the information of knowledge or wisdom that is from an external higher dimension. It is information that we receive. These are usually messages or guidance, so it's similar to a transmission in its little own way, but it's still different. So a download is usually something that we receive when we're awakening and when we are going through certain situations or doing certain exercise. A download, we can even receive a download just by being in a room with someone who has knowledge of, like, I don't know, maybe ancient hieroglyphics, and all of a sudden we start seeing hieroglyphics and we're like, oh my God, I saw that too. It's because we've received a download from a higher energy source or from the person who's next to us, which goes back to transmissions. So transmission is like a radio. Whoever is passing the transmission, it's like that message is getting sent to the person. So a transmission can either be reflected as a Reiki healing session, or even just a message. So we go back to downloads. So you can kind of see how they might get intermingled with one another. So the transmissions is basically that you are an antenna. Like, we can go back to cell phone. So say for example, we're playing radio phone. Each person is receiving, the main healer who is in the room is transmitting energy, and from that she transmits it to one person. That person in turn is transmitting the healer's energy, but also the healing abilities or the healing traits that they have. So it's kind of like switching on a night light. You know, you got one bulb that's hooked up to another one, and each light bulb goes on as they're receiving that transmission. So in a way, it can be a little bit different than a Reiki session if you really look at it, because with a transmission, everyone is sharing their energy in order to bring that healing or that message that needs to be received. So it just depends. If there's only one healer, one person, that's a transmission healing session. If it's a group of people, that's a transmission also, if they're all activating each other. If it's the healer who is just transmitting herself and not bringing, not playing radio because they don't want to like intermingle everybody's energy, it's a healing session, or just a healing. So, I mean, but everyone has their own opinion. You have to take what's your opinion and just kind of like base it off of that. So, activations. So, I love activations. These are my favorite. So, activations are a series of codes. And you probably are familiar with our light language activation sound healings. And what is so unique about activations is that it's a series of codes that are basically being downloaded and activated into your DNA. So this is more of a line, it's not really typically a message per se, like most transmissions and healing sessions are. This is an activation to reopen your soul's DNA, to help you reawaken your life's purpose, and to help you to reopen your abilities from previous soul groups, or to a specific type of soul group that you might have belonged to in a previous lifetime. Each one serves its purpose. Each one is different. Healing, transmission, healing sessions are all great because you're still receiving the healing that you need. You're getting the messages of support. You're getting the messages that help you move forward, okay? And some of these messages do help you tap into your own abilities. Transmissions is a group healing that brings about change, does bring healing, does bring messages, and it helps not just one person, but it helps everyone within humanity and wherever it is that you are, such as Earth. If you're doing a transmission, like for example, Mother Nature transmission activation, like you can do both. Transmission of healing each other and healing the world and everything that's involved within the world, every living thing, but also, activating the ancient encoded languages that that have been so hidden and covered because of certain technology or certain, passing of the years as everybody changes and things like that. Because we're always, the universe is always shifting and evolving. But what if we can actually activate the DNA within, the Earth's blueprint to open up and really allow ourselves to connect with its ancient lineage, and then like I said, it's your pick of the litter. Activations are very self personified. It's all about you and your soul group. So transmissions, it's like a radio. You're an antenna, you're getting messages. Activations are self-acknowledged, like your DNA is being reactivated. It's reawakening to your authentic self. So I hope that helps, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So again, I hope to see you guys at one of our light language sound healing activations, and have a blessed day.